It's Christmas morning and the year is 2022. I woke up with my family, but my heart was pounding. My mouth was dry, and that familiar wave of shame was washing over me. Except this time was different because I had no idea what I said the night before. I had no idea how many glasses of champagne that I'd actually had. No idea that my family had watched me literally black out in front of them. All I knew is that I had promised myself again that I'd have just one glass. And here I was, again, waking up mortified. But here's what made this moment different from the hundreds of other mornings I'd woken up with regret. My sister was visiting us from New York, and I rarely get to see her. But again, I passed out due to drinking and didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted with her. But you see, 6 months earlier, I had done 30 days alcohol free. And for those 30 days, I felt incredible. My sleep was deep and restorative. My skin was glowing. My anxiety disappeared. I was showing up as the best version of myself. And then I made the same mistake that everyone makes. I thought I could go back to moderate drinking. I thought it was different. I thought I had it under control. And that Christmas morning, lying there in shame, knowing my family had seen me at my worst, I realized something that changed everything. I wasn't mourning the loss of alcohol. I was mourning the loss of her. The woman I'd been during those 30 days. The one who was clear-headed, confident, and fully alive. And that's when the question hit me. What if the problem wasn't that I was weak? What if the problem was that I was using the wrong approach? Because here's the thing that nobody tells you. Right now, if you want to break free from alcohol, you have two choices. You can do it the hard way, using willpower to white knuckle through cravings for the rest of your life, relying on accountability alone, constantly fighting that urge, always one bad day away from ruining your streak. Or you could do it the way I did it. Here's the problem with the first way. You will eventually run out of willpower. You will eventually run out of energy. You're going to run out of strength to keep fighting yourself. And in this game, running out of willpower is not the only issue. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, the shame gets deeper. See, on that Christmas morning, I discovered something that changed my life in the coming months. I found a way to stop wanting alcohol in the first place. Not by forcing myself, not by battling cravings, but by reprogramming the part of my brain that was driving the behavior. And it all starts with understanding one simple truth. Your conscious mind, the part making promises to quit, controls 5% of your behavior. Your subconscious, the part that was programmed from birth, controls the other 95%. And here's what happened. Before I could only make it to 30 and 60 days before that craving and social pressure started to win. After I learned how to reprogram my subconscious, the cravings disappeared completely. I didn't have to fight anymore. I just didn't want it. And the only reason I was able to break free permanently is because I cracked the code to transformation that runs on autopilot. And when you know how to rewire your subconscious mind, you'll be able to stop wanting alcohol, which will allow you to finally live at 100% capacity. So you can be free to build the life you've always wanted. And I'm not the only one either, because I have taught this to many high-achieving women just like you. The path I took is the exact opposite of what everyone told me to do. And it's probably the opposite of what you've been told to do too. My name is Paige Calentino. And if you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting here today, completely alcohol-free, running a thriving coaching business, engaged to my dream partner, and genuinely happier than I've ever been, I would have laughed in your face. Because 5 years ago, I was a management consultant. I was making about $200K a year, traveling most weeks for client work, living what looked like the dream life on paper, but secretly I was drowning. See, I started drinking at the age of 16 in Orange County, California, where alcohol wasn't just a drink, it was an identity. The cool kids drank, and I believed that alcohol made me funny, confident, hot, and likable. And you know what? It really did work. I had a huge social circle. I was always at the best parties, never had to try too hard to fit in. What I didn't realize was that every sip was teaching me to outsource my self-worth. And this story followed me into college too. And there it got worse. I joined the cool sorority, the one known for being super wild and crazy, and felt like I had achieved some kind of unspoken goal. There were margarita Mondays, wine Wednesdays, themed parties every single weekend. I somehow maintained good grades too, but my mental and physical health were deteriorating. I gained weight. I missed morning classes from being hungover. I lost any sense of who I was without alcohol. During my freshman year, I was even roofied on spring break, and I fell out of the second floor balcony of a hotel. I almost lost my life, but still, I did not stop drinking. That's how deep this conditioning ran. After college, the drinking just looked more sophisticated. I entered the corporate world as a management consultant. I traveled a ton for client work, playing the part of this young, successful professional. I convinced myself that unwinding with wine after work was actually what adults did. It was normal, it was professional. Soon, happy hours became the main form of connection. I bonded with coworkers and clients over cocktails and beers, believing it made me more charming and relatable. But behind closed doors, I was exhausted. Sunday scaries became my norm. Entire days lost to hangovers and shame. Mondays felt like climbing out of a fog, and I knew deep down I was operating at maybe 60% of my potential. I told myself I was fine. After all, I was thriving on paper. I had a good job, I had a boyfriend, I had a social life, I had a gym routine, but inside I was quietly stuck. I was chasing external success while feeling deeply disconnected from myself. And then that disconnection came crashing down. I discovered my boyfriend was cheating on me. It absolutely shattered me. It forced me to take a look at how I had been treating myself, the ways I had ignored my own needs and silenced my intuition. I realized I had been tolerating mediocrity in every area of my life, work, love, and especially the way I used alcohol. But instead of healing, I numbed the pain. I drank even more to escape the heartbreak and to escape the loneliness. My weekends were a blur of bars, parties, and meaningless dates. And then COVID hit. Suddenly, I was isolated in my apartment with nowhere to run from my emotions besides drowning them in wine and tequila sodas. Drinking became my default way to make lockdown fun, but deep down, I felt so hollow. Still, something inside of me knew this wasn't who I was meant to be. I began reading books and listening to podcasts about the Sober Curious movement. I started journaling and reflecting, and in therapy, I heard the words that I thought would change my life. What if you just stopped drinking for a while? So I did. I started with Dry January and Whole30, 30 days without alcohol, sugar, or processed food. And by the end of that month, I felt incredible, clear-headed, energized, awake. But when I tried to go back to moderating my drinking, the cycle returned. One glass turned into 4. Every time I drank, I would wake up feeling full of regret. And that pattern became unbearable, wanting to control my drinking, but caving in, feeling ashamed about it over and over again. So I went deeper. I was just done with it now. I started working on my energy through affirmations, mindset work, and manifestation. I began reprogramming the beliefs that told me I needed alcohol to feel confident or connected. And that's when things really started to shift. I began drinking less, first once a week, then maybe once a month, and then I was only drinking on special occasions. Each time I drank, I increasingly noticed how terrible I felt afterwards. The hangover, the anxiety, the fog, it all felt unbearable compared to the clarity I had cultivated when I wasn't drinking. By this point, I had glimpsed what life could feel like without alcohol. My sleep was deep and restorative, my creativity returned, I was sharper at work, more present in conversations, and genuinely happy for the first time in years. I went back to school and got my master's degree. I picked up new hobbies like vision boarding and scuba diving, and I started attracting higher quality men that matched my new energy. And then came that last straw. Back to Christmas morning, 2022, I told myself I would have 1 glass of champagne. That 1 glass turned into 6. I blacked out while I was with my family, and the next morning I woke up mortified. I realized how far I had come and how far that one night had pulled me back. I had seen a better version of myself and I missed her. That's when I said enough. I decided to do 75 days alcohol-free, but this time I went all in. I worked to create new healthy habits. I changed my mindset. I created new supportive beliefs. I was literally manifesting a new life. And halfway through that challenge, I knew deep down in my soul that alcohol was no longer aligned with who I was becoming. From that moment on, everything changed. I met the man who would become my fiance. I landed my dream job. Opportunities began flowing to me effortlessly. I really felt radiant, grounded, and fully alive. Now I live alcohol-free not because I have to, but because I get to, because I finally know who I am without it. My entire identity used to revolve around being the fun party girl. Now I am the woman who helps others become their fullest, most vibrant selves. The women who know they're meant for more, but feel stuck in that same toxic drinking cycle that I once lived in. And here's what I learned that changed everything. The reason willpower doesn't work, the reason moderation fails, the reason you keep breaking promises to yourself, it has nothing to do with you being weak or broken. It has everything to do with your conscious mind, the part that sets goals and makes decisions and controls about 5% of your behavior. The other 95%, that's your subconscious. And your subconscious has been programmed since birth to believe that alcohol equals confidence, connection, fun, acceptance, safety. That's why willpower feels like a battle. You're trying to use 5% of your brain to override 95% of deeply embedded programming. It's like trying to change the channel of your TV by yelling at the screen instead of using the remote. Most programs out there are still focused on conscious mind work, accountability, tracking days, willpower, white knuckling through cravings, but that's treating the symptom, not the root cause. And that's why I created the Sober Caliente Method, a 3-phase system that reprograms your subconscious mind. So you don't even want to drink anymore. Not because you're forcing yourself not to, but because your brain literally doesn't desire it anymore. Here's how it works. Phase 1 is the foundation. First, we identify your specific triggers, the subconscious beliefs driving your drinking, and the nervous system patterns that are keeping you stuck. We use tools like hypnosis to access the subconscious directly, somatic exercises to release stored energy from your body, and quantum coaching to rewrite limiting beliefs at the energetic level, and manifestation practices to call in your new identity. And once you have that foundation in place, it's only going to take 7 to 14 days before you really start noticing your cravings start to go away, your energy starts to come back, mental clarity fills your mind, and your sleep improves dramatically. Then we get into phase 2, the rewiring. Next, we go deeper into subconscious reprogramming. This is where we install new beliefs like, I am confident without alcohol. I am fun, magnetic, and fully myself sober. I choose clarity over chaos. We use visualization to have you experience your future self, already living alcohol-free. So your brain starts believing it's not just possible, it's inevitable. We use EFT tapping to release emotional blocks and breathwork to regulate your nervous system in real time. And don't forget about the personalized hypnosis recordings that you can use anytime a craving hits. By week 8, most of my clients report that they drink less in social situations, and they start actually feeling easier without alcohol. Their skin is glowing, they're sleeping like babies, and they're starting to show up as the best version of themselves in every area of life. Then phase 3, the integration. Finally, we ensure this transformation sticks for life. We create your personalized reintegration plan, build your sober toolkit for any situation, navigate relationships and social dynamics, and leverage your newfound clarity for massive life upgrades, career breakthroughs, relationship improvements, health transformations, financial wins. Because here's the truth, alcohol isn't just holding you back from sobriety. It's holding you back from everything. Your dream job, your dream relationship, your dream body, your dream life. And once you remove that fog, all of that becomes possible. And I'm not the only one who's experienced this transformation. I've taught this method to so many high-achieving women just like you. Women like Liv, who texted me, I just got a dream offer from my company. This wouldn't have happened without your program. We talked about how staying sober consistently is a way to manifest, and without your support, I wouldn't be here. Or Maddie, who said, literally everything is happening on my vision board. Or my client who messaged me at 100 days sober. I just realized I'm 100 days sober today, and I don't even think about it anymore. It's wild. It's just a part of me. Best decision ever. I don't ever want to go back to feeling that cycle again. Or Haley, who shared, Paige helped me rediscover who I am without alcohol. The way she guided me made the process feel exciting instead of scary. I feel more confident, radiant, and genuinely happy again. Or Madison, who wrote, working with Paige was hands down the most transformational experience in my life. Not only does she provide science-backed tools, but she really gets to the root of your personal relationship with alcohol. Or Lori, who realized, my need to prove myself came from believing I wasn't worthy. That belief was a lie. After working with Paige, I felt lighter and more confident. I released the belief that I'm not fun without drinking. I now feel inherently fun and worthy. Or Nicole, who discovered alcohol wasn't a major part of my story. It was so much easier to stop than I thought. I have better focus and it's easier to accomplish my goals now. These women aren't special. They're not different from you. They are high-achieving professionals, corporate women, consultants, lawyers, marketers, entrepreneurs, women who looked successful on paper but were secretly struggling. And now, they're living proof that this works. But let's be real about what this actually means for you. When you join the Sober Caliente method, here's exactly what happens. First, you'll have 12 weekly one-on-one coaching sessions with me. These are not group calls where you're one of 50 people. This is a private, personalized, deep work session. Just you and me, going to the root of why you drink, rewiring the beliefs keeping you stuck, and building the identity of who you're becoming. Then you'll get 24/7 WhatsApp access to me between sessions. This is a game changer because cravings don't happen during your Tuesday 10 a.m. session. They happen at 8 p.m. on a Friday when your friends are opening a bottle of wine. And in that moment, you can text me, get real-time support, use the tools that I've given you, and not break your commitment to yourself. This is why my clients succeed when others fail. You'll also get my complete library of custom hypnosis and visualization recordings so you can reprogram your subconscious literally while you sleep, and the Sober Caliente workbook with 60 daily journal prompts. And you'll get a complete toolkit of somatic exercises and meditation techniques so you can calm your nervous system in 90 seconds when a craving hits. Social navigation scripts for every situation so you always know exactly what to say when you're offered a drink. And lifetime access to my private alumni community where you'll be surrounded by other high-achieving women on the same path. And once you have all of that, you go from operating at a 60% to 100% of your potential, without white knuckling, without feeling deprived, without losing your social life. And that's when you'll finally experience the freedom, clarity, and confidence you've been craving. So here's what this comes down to. You have two choices now. Option one, you can continue what you're doing. You can keep telling yourself you're gonna cut back next week, keep operating at 60% capacity, and keep waking up with regret. Keep wondering what life would look like if you finally broke free. And if that's what you choose, I genuinely respect that because this journey is not for everyone. It's only for women who are ready to stop tolerating mediocrity, ready to step into their power, ready to become the woman they know they're capable of being. Or you can choose option two. You can say yes to yourself today. You can join the Sober Caliente Method. And in just 90 days from now, you'll be waking up every morning without shame, feeling energized and clear-headed, showing up as the best version of yourself in every area, and wondering why you didn't do this sooner. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Paige, this sounds amazing, but what's the investment? Here's the thing. Most people spend $300 to $500 a month on alcohol. And over the course of the year, that's $3,600 to $6,000. And what do you have to show for it? Hangovers, regret, brain fog, wasted potential. The Sober Caliente method is only $3,997 for the full 3 months, which breaks down to about $333 per week. Except instead of numbing yourself, you're investing in becoming the most vibrant, confident, successful version of yourself. And here's what makes this decision even easier for you. I am so confident that this will work for you that I'm including my 90-day transformation guarantee. Here's how it works. Complete all 12 sessions, do the daily practices, show up fully for yourself. And if at the end of 90 days, you honestly believe you received zero value from this experience or no transformation, I'll refund your entire investment. Plus, I will give you a $500 credit towards any future programs I might do. Why would I do that? Because I have seen this work for so many women. I've watched women who thought they were broken, who tried everything else, who were on the verge of giving up, transform into the most radiant, powerful versions of themselves. And I know with absolute certainty that if you show up fully, this will work for you too. One more thing you must know before you make your decision though. I only work with 8 to 12 women at a time because this level of support, 24/7 access to me, deep personalized coaching requires my full attention. And right now I have exactly 3 spots open for January. Once those spots fill up, the next available opening is not until March. So if you're feeling that pull, if you're hearing this and thinking, this is what I've been looking for, then don't wait, because here is what happens if you wait. You tell yourself you're going to start after the holidays or after that work trip or after that wedding. And before you know it, another year has gone by and you're still stuck in that same cycle. So the question is, are you going to do something about it? Or are you going to let another year slip by? If you're ready for this, click the button below to book your free 30-minute clarity call with me. On that call, we'll talk about your specific situation, what's been keeping you stuck, and whether the Sober Caliente method is the right fit for you. There is no sales pitch, there's no pressure, just an honest conversation about your transformation. And if we're a match, we'll get you enrolled and you can start your journey within the next 7 days. So go ahead and click that button now, book your call, and let's get you started on the path to becoming the woman I know you're meant to be. I'll see you on the inside. Book your free clarity call now.